Your thoughts come out of the silent, empty space of your mind, from nothingness to a thought effect without cause. In the purely physical sense, miracles do not need a physical cause. Allow yourself to experience that something out of nothing phenomenon to put yourself in touch with your non-physical self. Remove yourself from the physical world for a brief period of time. Quietly within your own mind, let go of each of your senses as you do every night while you're sleeping. The more you are able to let go of your attachment to your body through your all-knowing, all-powerful mind, the less you will use your physical state as a way of assessing your life. Keep your focus on purpose rather than an outcome. Keep your mind, body, and soul totally in the moment of your activity and all of your activities. Stop and ask yourself truly, why am I doing this? You will find that the outcome, win or reward, is just as fleeting as the moment you participate in the activity. Nay, stay on purpose in your activities rather than focusing on the ultimate reward. To rid yourself of a preoccupation with valueless things, rethink your attitude about your possessions. Make an inventory of everything you own. Is there anything in that list you would die for? Now think about your values, your ideals, your loved ones, and ask yourself the very same question. You know what your priorities are. They all have to do with what you think and believe, not what you own. Or stay on that purpose, and you'll find yourself automatically shifting to a spiritual focus in your life. To conduct yourself on a spiritual plane, begin living one day at a time, emphasizing ethics rather than rules. Keep in mind that some of the most despicable human behavior has been conducted in the name of I'm only following the rules. The rules or laws told black people to sit in the back of the bus. The laws said owning a submachine gun was fine. People who live by ethics have moved away from arcane, victimizing rules. Be that kind of person for a day. Get yourself away from the rules and live ethically. To become more peaceful with yourself and the world, give yourself quiet time alone daily for 1 week. This is extremely important and something that you will likely resist. Set aside 30 minutes or so to be alone and peacefully go within to quiet your mind. If you stay with it, I absolutely guarantee that you will begin to discover a part of yourself that will provide you with all the loving guidance you need in every area of your life. So to befriend and cultivate your intuition, treat those inner thoughts that crop up in your mind as welcome guests instead of random hunches. Develop a dialogue with that intuitive voice and simply note what you learn or what happens in the next few days as a result. The next time you have an intuitive notion, choose to follow its lead. To stay focused on what you are for in life rather than what you are against. Inventory everything in your life that you are opposed to. Reward your list to reflect what you are for rather than being against. For example, replace being against your child's bad study habits with being for a self-disciplined young person. Remember that all that you fight weakens you. All that you support empowers you. To develop an empowering attitude towards yourself, restate everything that you dislike about who you are in positive, affirmative ways. Instead of being against your laziness, be for having more energy. By being for your energy, you will take actions to correct your laziness, This is true of all your so-called bad habits. Restate them in terms of what you are for, and you will automatically empower yourself to correct them. Spend some time every day in complete awe. Be thankful for your liver, your hands, and your mind. Treat all of life with reverence and awe, and know that it is all working purposefully a few minutes a day. In total, awe will contribute to your spiritual awakening faster than any metaphysics course you could take. To move past anger and bitterness in your mind, isolate one person whom you feel has wronged you at some time in your life. Now, just for a few moments, instead of feeling the hate and bitterness you feel, try to imagine yourself sending them love. When you're able to send them love instead of hate, you will not only be healing yourself, but you'll also be on your way to becoming a spiritual being. Remember the sage words of Buddha. You will not be punished for your anger. You will be punished by your anger. The final task on the journey to experience real magic is to set your mind, that is, your invisible self, on the path of miraculous living. What follows is a guide for shifting your mindset to experiencing a world where real magic is not only possible, but is your birthright. With this shift, miracle making will become something you not only believe in, but that you manifest in your everyday life. Number 1, reserve your judgment and disbelief. I encourage you to cultivate a new self-declared openness to any and everything being a possibility for you. Having an open mind and suspending your disbelief allows you to experience new vistas, while your closed mind keeps you trapped in your old ways of thinking and seeing. Real magic is only available to those who can imagine any and all possibilities while letting the how it will happen take care of itself. Here's the suggestion for implementing this practice: inner affirmations and giving yourself permission to adopt new ideas. Affirmations include, I will keep an open mind. I refuse to judge anyone or any idea. I will act in my new openness rather than my old skepticism. To create a real magic zone in your mind, make this a very private part of your life. Reserve a small piece of your consciousness exclusively for this. I've been able to manifest what constitutes miracles for myself by having this very private zone all to myself. It was once, while I was in the shower quietly meditating, that I considered being completely alcohol-free. I asked myself, or my guide, can I give up alcohol beginning January 1st of next year? The answer was crystal clear. Just don't take a drink today and ask again tomorrow. Just today, you don't have to look any further. From that moment on, I have been completely alcohol-free. I recommend that you reserve your own invisible and formless zone in your mind. Retreat there often to ask for loving guidance, and the guidance will be there. Here's a suggestion for implementing this mindset. Keep one little corner of your mind open to miracle making. Investigate the lives of other people who've experienced miracles. Know that this is possible for you too. By allowing yourself to be receptive to these stories and genuine experiences, you'll begin to open up your mind to these very real possibilities for yourself. Number 3, affirm yourself as a no-limit person. When you develop this real magic zone in your mind and trust that you can go there, it will begin to affirm to yourself that there are literally no limits to the powers that you possess. A great rule of thumb is this: if you can conceive of it in your mind, then it can be brought into the physical world. To become your own miracle worker, you'll have to change the thoughts that create your world of limits and boundaries. Why not include the presence of real magic in your life as well? Here's a suggestion for implementing this no-limit belief. Affirm to yourself out loud each day that you are a spiritual being having a human experience, and that in the spiritual realm there are no limitations. This affirmation will help you open yourself up to tapping into the universal forces rather than being a skeptic and never allowing them to work in your life. Affirm it first and then begin to act on that affirmation. Number 4, develop a new mindset toward the concept of intuition. You really must become comfortable with the idea that strong inner pleadings and sudden hunches are truly inner voices offering you guidance. Think of your intuitive self as God talking privately to you, just as you talk privately to God, and call it prayer. I am absolutely certain that you have numerous stories of times when an inner voice prompted you to behave in what seemed to be an irrational way, and it turned out to be life-saving. It happens to everyone. Most of us get these intuitive signals on a regular basis. Your intuition, that fuzzy inner voice that you hear so often, is a part of your life. It's there. It's real. Pay attention to it. Here's a suggestion for implementing this new mindset. Practice listening to and following your intuition just one day at a time. Try following one of those hunches in a new way just once today. Forget about the outcome and remind yourself that by listening to these intuitive proddings, you overcome an inner mental inclination to ignore them. Number 5, discover the secret that sits in the center and knows. Become familiar and comfortable with the notion that nothingness has something to offer you on your path to real magic. Consider that it's the space between the notes that makes the music. A note without space is just one long sound. No nothing. That's no music. Consider this. A room is not a room without silence. Empty space within is surrounded by the shape of material form. No nothingness, no room. And so it is with you. You, too, are material form surrounding the invisible silent emptiness that is also you. Without that nothingness inside, there can be no you. It is out of that secret in the center that you will be able to create miracles for yourself. Here's a suggestion for implementing this. Remind yourself that the world of form surrounds invisible emptiness. Remind yourself that you are form surrounding the invisible life energy. The more you trust that your life is on purpose and that you will not be misguided, the more you will commune in the peaceful, harmonious world of real magic. Number 6, learn to learn through knowing and trusting rather than doubting and fearing. Much of your learning has likely involved questioning your ability to gain a particular skill. And you were taught to doubt in a culture that stressed, you can't, it's wrong, you don't have the right background, or you don't have the right credentials or experience. Out of doubt came a fear of your greatness, a fear of disapproval, a fear of failure or intimacy, and even success. If you want to become acquainted with real magic, fear and doubt must be replaced with trust and a strong reliance on internal knowing. Keep in mind as you shift to this new consciousness that behind fear is powerlessness. That which you fear, you are fighting, and fighting always weakens you. Behind trust is empowerment and love. It is your choice always, and the choice begins in that amorphous inner world of the mind. Here's a suggestion for implementing this new mindset. Just for a few minutes today, in your encounter with strangers, shift to knowing and trusting as your way of interacting. Let go of doubt and treat that clerk or that telephone contact with trust and confidence. This business of learning through knowing and trusting serves you in millions of ways. And try it. Suspend your doubt and fear and trust that things will work out. Number 7, affirm that your intention creates your reality. Memorize and continually remind yourself, my intention creates my reality. Intention is the energy of your soul coming into contact with your physical reality. What you see around you, who you associate with, how you function daily, and virtually everything about the physical you is a result of your intentions or how your thoughts became energized into action. Creating miracles in your life comes from your intention to do so, not your wish, not your desire, not your goal. Your intention, then and only then, will begin to turn that same potential into your reality in the material world. Here's a suggestion for implementing this. Rather than simply laying out goals or wishes for how you want your life to go, try shifting to the active language of intention. For example, say, I intend to heal myself of this illness, rather than, I wish it would go away. So the concept of intention, of applying action to your inner pleadings, will allow you to activate what needs to be done in order to complete the thought and make it a physical reality. This is the very stuff of which miracles are comprised. Number 8, experience surrender and trust. Surrendering is the equivalent of putting inspiration into your life. When you are inspired, you feel purposeful. When you trust in the invisible intelligence of the universe, you feel guided. It can happen in a moment, and it often occurs just that quickly. This process is called satori, which translates roughly to instant awakening. This feeling of satori is a result of an inner decision to be at harmony with yourself and your physical world. It's really a decision to surrender. You can very likely look back to some significant positive shifts in your own life and realize you experienced a moment of awakening. This is the surrender moment called satori. Satori is available to you every moment of your life. It can only come if you have an open heart and mind.